Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. That didn't work. Tried to put the yay on, but it didn't work. What happened? I don't know. Anyway, have a great day, people. You know what? That threw me off. I hope you guys had a great day today. I appreciate you guys immensely for joining me. I got to adjust the lighting. I don't know. Everything's kind of off right now. I'm not too happy about this lighting. Whatever. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys had a great day. Like I said, welcome to True Crime with Strategic. We're here once again. I definitely had to come do a live. I've been working all day long. Today I'm working a day shift. Got up 6 a.m., did some overtime. Aki told me, Stephen Stearns went to court today. I was like, yes, Aki, I know, but unfortunately, I can't live stream it. I've got to work. So I said, you know what? We're going to catch this. We're going to catch up to this. And we're going to do a reaction to it when I get out of work. So I have not seen this. I purposely did not review this court appearance so that we could review it together. We could go through this as a family. When we're done with this, I want to give you guys another example of the research, or rather just the crew. You guys, one of you guys, the members, once again acting like detectives, do an amazing job breaking down this case and discovering things that not even YouTubers like myself or professional detectives like myself even noticed on our own. You guys are doing an amazing job, man. And every single day I read in those comments, and that's why I read every single comment. Every single day I read in those comments, I read something new and I learn something new from you guys, layman people, people who aren't in law enforcement, people who never took an oath to protect. And yet you guys are doing better than some of the investigators I've worked with my entire career. So anyway, guys, I really appreciate you guys. I am very tired, very fatigued. I'm not going to lie to you. It's taken everything in me right now to give you guys that spunk that you see right here. So let's get through this. Let's do it, and let's do it right. And then Strategic is going to bed. Before we get started, guys, number one, I want to ask for you to hit that like button. Make sure that you hit that like button, support the channel. And number two, we got to do our spiel. We're going to be going over a public court proceeding in the state of Florida. We're going to be going over this and reacting to it from an educational point of view. We're not doing it for entertainment. We're doing it for educational purposes. What gives me the authority to react to this from an educational point of view for educational purposes is I'm an active duty sex crimes detective with 18 and a half years of experience and a bachelor's degree in social work and criminal justice. Lastly, we do not make content for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. We will, however, try and be respectful of YouTube's terms of service and also respectful of the material that we're covering, which is an unfortunate tragedy that I think throughout almost over a year of covering this, definitely over a year of covering this, we could say was wholly and totally avoidable. But that being said, whether it was avoidable or not, it still is tragic, and we're going to be respectful toward the material that we're covering. All right, now let's jump into this. Wow, first of all, we got to start this out by talking about how old and haggard Stephen Stearns looks. Look how old and haggard this guy is. Look how weary his eyes are. You know what I'm going to do? I want to even I'm going to blow this up a little bit. Give me a second. I want to show you guys something. It's going to look crazy, but I want to blow it up. So don't look at me. Look at Stephen Stearns. So let me go ahead and grab this, move him over so you guys can see him better. Look at his face. I know I look blurry because I messed everything up just so you guys can see. I look like a ghost. I know it. Ignore me. Ignore Strategic the ghost. Look at Stephen Stearns. Look at his eyes. Look how weary he looks. Look how defeated he looks. Now, when it comes to Stephen, he could very well just be pretending. You know, he's the master of woe is me. He's the master of looking meek, looking like he's the victim. That's his speciality, ladies and gentlemen. We can say that with all honesty and definitiveness. But I got to say, it definitely stands out to me, ladies and gentlemen. It 100% stands out to me. Let me get it fix me again. Oh, man. Sorry about that. Trying to figure this out. There we go. So we're having some issues. I think we just have some driver issues, really. But we're going to power through. We're going to power through. We're not going to be like last time where we have to do like 5 different lives before we get it right. So let's keep going.
We're on the record, State of Florida versus Stephen Michael Stearns, 2024, CF 632. Appearances for the record, please.
Danielle Pinnell and William J. for the state.
It sounded like the...
Alex Johnson on behalf of Mrs. Stephen Stearns.
It sounded like the judge sounded a little weird. The judge definitely sounded a little weird to me. I don't know if it's just me. It's like he sounded very, I don't know how to describe it. Like his voice was just cutting off very quickly. But anyway, let's keep going.
Thank you. All right, the court has set this hearing on the defense's motion to continue the suppression hearing, which is currently set for tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Defense, do you wish to present argument with respect to your motion?
Yes, Judge, and defense has case law provided a copy to the state already. You want me to give you a moment to read, Judge, or you want me to...
Just a moment.
Just to be with all transparency to you guys, we are having some technical difficulties behind the scenes. So far, it's not impacting the stream, and I'm grateful for that. But we are having some technical. Can't even speak because I'm tired. I'm sorry, guys. Some technical difficulties. Big shout out to Rosie Rose 80 with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Let's power through.
Highlight the McKay factors.
Essentially, Judge, they are essentially the same for the same
I'm
problem.
familiar with the McKay factors. Thank you.
And the cases that I provided to the court are Botham v. State, 272 Southern 3rd 876, 50 CA case from 2019, Turner v. State, 311 Southern 3rd 185, a second DCA case from 2020, McKay versus State, first DCA, 504 Southern 2nd 1280 from 1986, and unpublished opinion that only has a Westlaw site so far, Surratt versus State, 2025, Westlaw 1119091 from last week from April of 2025. Trocola versus State, 867 Southern 2nd 129, 50 CA from 2004. And Singer versus State, 286 Southern 3rd 343, a 50 CA from 2019. Essentially, Judge, defense is moving to continue the motion to suppress the set for the tomorrow afternoon. And looking at the Bofo case, it essentially says that in moving for a continuance, defense just has to show that we haven't had a reasonable time to investigate or litigate the case, and that is balanced against the judicial economy and judicial efficiency in the court managing their documents.
All right, so right now I think she's trying to argue her request to get a continuation on the motion. Now, guys, I just want to point out to you guys, I think I covered this one. I covered initially the motion, the response motion where she says, hey, listen, we need more time. We discovered something. All right. We came across something very material that we need to investigate. And I think we covered this. Just to clarify for you folks, it has to be related to the motion that they filed about the cell phones and retrieving evidence from the cell phone and seizing the cell phone evidence. It can't be some other situation because the trial haven't started yet. So they have time to investigate whatever other stuff that they have going on. Or if they need more time to investigate in general, they can say, hey, listen, we're not ready for trial. When the judge asks, are you ready for trial, prosecution? Yes, we're ready for trial. Defense, are you ready for trial? They can say, no, we're not ready for trial because we're investigating X, Y, and Z. But for them to say specifically for this motion, Your Honor, we're not ready to present this motion to you, they have to articulate that they have information that's relevant to this motion that they need more time to investigate in order to properly argue that motion. So whatever it is, it's not we got the goods on Jen or whatever. It could be depending on what it is, but it has to be related to the cell phone. Has to be related to the cell phone. Let's keep going.
Turning to the McKay factors, as well as the factors that are listed in, I believe, Turner, that looks to a defense suffering an injustice by failing to grant the continuance, as well as if the delay was attributable to the defense or if it was unforeseen. Defense would argue that the intention is not to delay the court, isn't to be derelict in our duties. Defense is moving for this continuance based off of, as the court is aware, there is the second case, and preparing for preparing for the motion as well as in preparing the other case for trial. Defense is coming to information that at this time the defense isn't in a position to be able to divulge to the court or in open court.
So your good cause is secret?
Essentially, Judge. Well, I can't in good faith at this time, being that it's still being explored. I don't know which way it's going to go, if it's going to be something that's going to pan out in favor of defense or be able to be something to be utilized in this case. As the court is aware, a death notice has been filed.
Okay, so I don't think she has the goods like she made it seem in her motion. And I do understand, though, why she doesn't want to say what it is in open court. And what do you guys, why would you guys believe that she doesn't want to say exactly what it is in open court? Let's see, because I know I got one of the smartest audiences on YouTube. So do me a favor, audience, impress me. Why wouldn't she want to talk about something that they're working on right now in open court? I'm going to tell you why. And I know the chat is going to say, because we got a little bit of a delay. Because we're watching. Because she knows that True Crime with Strategic is watching, Grizzly's watching, Plunder's watching. We're all out here watching. We're all out here watching. We'll investigate it. We'll talk about it. We'll dig deep into it. By extension, you guys who are part of the true crime community, who are just as good as investigators and detectives as me or anybody else who has a badge. Being a detective is not just something that you get a shield for. It's something you're born with. A desire to search for truth, to seek out truth, to like to put puzzles together, to solve things. That's something anybody could be interested in or have a gift in. You don't have to just be in law enforcement and get the stamp of approval to have that gift. Many of you guys have that gift. If they say that out in open court, guess what? We're going to jump all over that. And that might in some way hinder them from putting together the information that they're trying to put together, maybe in favor of Stephen Stearns. But what she said by saying, I don't know at this time if it will plan out to be beneficial to Stephen Stearns or not be beneficial to him, it makes me feel like it's not the goods that we thought it might have been when we read that motion. When we read that request for continuance for more time, it made it seem like she had the goods. Right now, it just makes it seem like she's stalling for time a little bit. And the reason why I believe like now I'm starting to feel like she's stalling for time is because she didn't just said, hey, I need more time to go over this super probative, information that we just got a hold of and all that good stuff. She said that and to prepare for the other trial. If what she had was so rock solid, sounds good, rocking your socks off, we got to be worried because maybe Stearns is about to drop a bombshell or something like that. Why would she be talking about, and we also need time to prepare for the other child? No, just be all about that information that she needs to go through. So I don't know what she's working with, and I might eat crow and say, oh my God, I doubted her, and look, she's got the goods in a couple of weeks, but I'm not impressed right now. I'm not feeling right now that she has the goods. Let's keep going.
In the second case, and while I'm not arguing specifically as to that case, in that death notice, this case is used as one of the aggravating factors. So a conviction on this case would be one of the aggravating factors the state would potentially be seeking in the death notice in terms of the homicide case. Defense would argue that this information has come to light recently, and we're still in working through it and figuring out if it's something that would or wouldn't be available in this case. If the defense were to go forward with the motion to suppress at this point, potentially would be relitigated depending on the court's ruling on that. In terms of just regular pretrial in the case, we would to continue the regular pretrial even aside from the motion to suppress hearing, because we did an evidence viewing. We were able to complete the evidence viewing, and the second part of that evidence viewing is scheduled for June 11th with the state in this case. So defense essentially is moving to continue balancing the Botham factors as well as the McKay factors. Defense believes that this isn't a unreasonable request on the court and filing a motion and getting this set for a hearing and still doing their due diligence in terms of preparing the case otherwise for trial and for the motion to suppress in and of itself.
All right. So the McKay factors, so we're on the same page, deal with a request to continue the trial. The other factors that you mentioned deal with a request to continue either a trial or a substantive hearing for absence of a critical witness. State response?
Yes, Your Honor. The state has not been in receipt of any witness list or any defense discovery in this case. The defendant in this case was arrested on February 29th of 2024. The public defender's office was appointed the next day at initial appearances. The discovery process started after the information was filed on March 11th of 2024. The state responded to the defense's demand for discovery on March 20th, 2024, and discovery has been ongoing. The motion.
Now, this is huge right here because I've been telling you guys this for a very long time. And, you know, I'm the new kid on the block, so sometimes people don't listen to me. Even though I'm a detective and I do this for a living, sometimes people don't listen to me. It's okay. Hopefully in time, I will earn your trust, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you will come to trust Strategic, okay? I told you guys that discovery is still ongoing. I told you guys that they're still handing out information to the defense, and also that we, as a general public, have not received every single document that there is to have, and much less probative things. Like, we all know for a fact that we're never going to get the video. They've already said we're not giving you any videos. So when people say, well, this may not have happened or that may not happen, or like when we go back to Fox 35, where they said that they came into possession of a new statement from Stephen Stearns where he says he brought Maddie with him to the vape shop. We all know he didn't bring her to the vape shop if she wasn't in the trunk. She probably went to the vape shop, but she was in the trunk. But we know it's highly unlikely that he brought her to the vape shop in the passenger seat. But we also know that Stearns is not a truth teller. We also know that Stearns is desperate. And it's possible he could have given this statement to a jail guard. He could give this statement to a confidential witness that's in the jail with him. Could have given this statement to waved his right again and said, you know what? I changed my mind. I don't want to have an attorney and I want to do another interview. People can do that. It's difficult, but you could do that and give another statement. We have not received every single piece of evidence. The prosecution is now standing before you, ladies and gentlemen, and telling you discovery to the defense is ongoing. And guess what? We can't get FOIA requests of information without the defense first getting it. So if there's material evidence, if there's Brady material, if there's just discovery, I'm going to give you every legal term. Forget about it. Discovery. If there's just discovery that they have not given the defense yet, we can't get it. You can't FOIA request something that the defense has not gotten yet. So please understand that, ladies and gentlemen. YouTube has not seen everything that's out there in this case. There are going to be things that's going to come out in the next weeks and months that's going to shock you. And the fact that the prosecution is saying that they have not finished giving discovery to the defense, that means that going to trial in May is out of the question. Judges put cases on calendar, but it's always subject to change. This case is not going to trial in May of 2025. Let's keep going.
To suppress that are currently set for hearing tomorrow were filed by the defense on February 6th of 2025. There was a motion to close the courtroom on February 28th of 2025. A notice of hearing for the closure of the courtroom was filed February 24th of 2025. Upon the denial of the defense's motion to close the courtroom on March 27th of 2025, the defense filed a notice of hearing for these motions to suppress. So these have been pending hearings since March 27th of 2025. The defense filed the motions to continue. The defense waited approximately almost 2 months, a little 2.5 months to request hearing time. The hearing has been set. The state filed responses to the defendant's motions to suppress on April 8th of 2025. And then I was contacted by defense. We had a discussion about their request to continue these hearings on April 10th, and a written motion to continue was filed on April 14th of 2025. The written motion filed by defense, the state's position is vague. It is unclear whether this information is necessary for a defense, is necessary for the hearing. The motion simply states that it may affect the presentation of evidence. The state has subpoenaed witnesses. We have a significant amount of hearing time scheduled for tomorrow afternoon. The state's prepared to proceed on the motions and is objecting to the motion to continue the suppression.
Sorry.
Thank you.
All right, sorry about that. Two things. Number one, somebody said that Plunder has a new document. It looks like there's a new lab report. We'll cover that tomorrow. We'll let Plunder just got that, just posted it. We'll let her, post that out there first, and then we'll definitely cover it. Number two, please do hit the like button, guys. Hit that like button, support the channel. We have 250 people watching right now, only 187 likes. We're not asking for your money. We're not asking for anything. We're just asking for likes. That's it, so we can get into that algorithm. And lastly, please excuse my allergies. Like I told you guys, it's been a long day at work. Spent a lot of time in the field working cases. I'm tired, but I love you guys. That's why I'm here. And number two, my allergies are insane, literally insane. And I've been good all day because I drugged myself up, but now those drugs that are in my system are starting to wane, and it's starting to kick back up again. So I apologize for that. Let's keep going.
Any additional argument from the defense?
Yes, Judge. Defense would say that this is necessary for the defense, even if the court were to ask ex parte in terms of, to have ex parte hearing in terms of the basis for the motion. I don't believe at this point defense will be able to disclose that information even to the court, even if an ex parte hearing were requested and or granted. It's defense's position that this information is necessary to be explored in terms of the presentation of the evidence or presentation of the case, because it's defense's position that at this time the information is confidential, which is why a witness list hasn't been disclosed, discovery exhibits haven't been disclosed in regards to it, because it's still being looked to and explored. As the state indicated, discovery is ongoing, and as discovery has continued to be defense's preparation of the case, reviewing of the motions, filing of the motions, preparation of the motion, as well as in preparing this case otherwise for trial alongside the homicide case. So it's defense's position that the granting of the continuance in this case would not be an undue burden on the court. I understand the state having subpoenaed witnesses. The day that I found out about the information was the same day we actually happened to have depositions, so I spoke with the state in person about it, and then sent her an email in regards to her position, and then from there filed the motion to continue, and then we got hearing times while I was in trial with Your Honor as another case, and I filed the notice of hearing as to that. Defense has been preparing, defense is preparing, and it's defense's position.
We in court. And I'm so tired from work, I came to court naked. I didn't put my court hat on. Now we could go to court. Let's keep going.
That denial of the motion to continue in this case would be an abuse of discretion, and we'd be asking the court to grant the request to continue.
Thanks. Well, the court's in a difficult position evaluating the McKay factors. In this case, the court's going to find that there's been significant time to prepare for these hearings. This case initiated in February of 2024. Motion was filed almost a year later. The matter was set for a hearing in March. 13 months. I'll note that this is on 24 CF 632. While the two cases are related, this does not deal with the homicide case. The court has an inability to make a determination as to the likelihood.
Yeah, you know, the fact that she said, oh, we need time to develop this new confidential information that we got and also to prepare for the homicide case, that didn't make sense because you can't ask the judge for more time to prepare for a case that's not even being adjudicated yet. But let's keep going.
A prejudice from the denial. The defense apparently is in possession of some information, the nature of that information, the timing of when it was received, whether the defendant played any role in shortening the preparation time. The availability of that discovery is unknown to the court because the defense is unwilling at this point to share any information with the court, even on an ex parte basis, as to this information. Counsel that has been appointed to this case has the requisite skill and experience to try this type of case. Both are either board certified criminal trial experts or in the process of becoming are being certified as a criminal trial expert. The court cannot, from the information presented, make a finding of good cause, and while the defense argues it will be prejudicial, there's been nothing advanced to the court to support that argument. So
oh boy,
the defense's motion to continue the motion to suppress tomorrow, scheduled for 2 p.m., is denied.
Denied!
And
down with Stearns!
Please have their witnesses present and ready to go.
No problem.
Down with Stearns! Denied! 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 Let's keep going.
Thank you. Matter set for 3 hours tomorrow at 2 p.m. That will conclude our hearing.
All right, the judge defeated Stearns. Some of you guys knew that already. Like I said, I haven't been covering the case. I didn't see this video. I haven't covered the case. I've been covering the crap out this case, man. But like I said, guys, I was at work today, so I appreciate everybody who came to join me so we could actually experience this together. But I want to talk about some other things, guys, because you guys are amazing. I think this was great. This was good, and I think the judge made the right call. Look, judges are supposed to be fair and impartial, okay? If you give the judge a good reason, they will certainly take it into consideration. If you give them a compelling reason, they'll just give you the extra time, all right? Justice takes time, all right? The judges don't care whether a trial takes a year or 2 years. They will do whatever they have to do to make sure that the defendant gets a fair and just trial. You can't come into court and say, hey, judge, I got a big secret. I'm not even willing to tell you. Just trust me, I got a secret. And aside from that secret that I got, I also need to prepare for another case that's not even started yet. Right now, we are working on the CSAM case. That's what we're working on. With CSAM and ex-abuse case, that's what we're working on right now. She wants time to develop her secret. And then aside from developing her secret, she wants time to also work on the homicide. You can't ask that from the judge. You can't slow down justice for those reasons. It's either you got the goods or you don't. If you're on a precipice of getting the goods, you get more time. If you just heard a birdie whisper in your ear, tweet, 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 we're not going to stop this trial for you to go chasing after that bird. You got it, you don't, and it sounds like she don't have it. But you know who has it? I'm going to tell you who has it. You guys have it. Yesterday we covered how Stephen Stearns was telling on Jen Soto before our very eyes the things that Stephen Stearns said that implicated Jen Soto. Hold on. Just want to get this over here. We covered how he stated about the story. I don't know if it's true, but this is his story. The story about how, oh, we put the wrong one. I'm like showing you the wrong picture. Well, this is actually, we'll leave this up because we covered this. This is good. This is actually very good. This is good. So we covered how Stephen Stearns would tell this story about how Madeline took the phone, and it's possible she took some pictures that were inappropriate, and that Maddie was scolded for taking those pictures by her mother, etc. And we covered how, due to the great detective work of Kayla Laria, that it's possible that Jen Soto saw CSAM before, and that she didn't do nothing about it. And basically, Stephen Stearns been telling us, because he's told that story at least 2 times that I know of. He might have told it more. But he's telling us this story. He's telling law enforcement this story. He played it for you, where he's telling law enforcement this story inside of the interrogation room. He's not just telling that story. He's telling us that somebody else saw this material. Jen Soto saw this material. So Kayla basically brought that to our attention. She did an excellent job. She's obviously a detective at heart, and we covered it, and I think it was a great show, and I think it was very insightful what she led us to. So then we go back to the comment section again, and guess what? You folks are up to the same excellent work that Kayla did. So now I want to bring this comment over to you guys. Clarissa Kelly said, maybe that's why Jen Soto was so interested in seeing the SA pictures they had. Because if it was one that she had seen before regarding this earlier incident, she's talking about the incident that Stephen Stearns keeps telling to the cops, that would implicate her in her knowledge of the abuse. Now, to clarify what Clarissa is saying, if I can clarify, because I'm so tired, my brain is like a fog right now, so I keep stumbling when I talk. She's talking about how when those Orange County detectives were, I would say, interrogating Jen Soto, because even though it seemed like a non-custodial interview, which it was, they were really hammering her. They were really hammering her and digging under her skin for being a terrible mother. And they were questioning her about her judgment. And they also told her about the pictures. And what did Jen Soto say, ladies and gentlemen? Didn't she say, I want to see the pictures? And didn't that shock us all to our core that she would want to see the pictures? We had mothers and fathers in here saying, I would never want to see those pictures. That's the kind of thing you just take law enforcement word for. You said you, Mr. Officer of the Law, is telling me that you got pictures of my baby with this guy doing those things. I'll take your word for it. Give me justice. But that's not what Jen Soto said. Jen Soto said, I want to see it with my own eyes. In fact, that threw the officers off. It threw them up in the wind. Why? Because they weren't prepared to show her all the pictures that they had, because they didn't have all those pictures with them. So they're kind of like, you really want to see them? I mean, that's not really something somebody might want to see. Are you sure you want to see them? Well, you know, we just came in, so we're not really prepared. We don't have all those pictures, but we have this one that's cropped in. We didn't bring the actual, we cropped it in so you wouldn't be traumatized. They actually showed her edited pictures that were cropped so that all you could see is the mouth of Maddie or the ding dong of Stephen. They were trying to be respectful by augmenting those pictures to not make them as traumatized. But Jen Soto said no. She said, I want to see those pictures. I don't believe it. I need to see it. Well, what Clarissa is saying is maybe she wanted to see it to make sure it wasn't the pictures that she saw before. Because if they show her the pictures that she saw before, she might be scared that that might implicate her in actually having knowledge, at the very least. We're not even saying participating. We're just saying at the very least having knowledge that this was happening. That's an excellent catch from Clarissa. And now I got to give Clarissa Kelly her grace and her celebratories. Unfortunately, we don't have none of the sound effects working, so I can't say hooray. But we also have to say we know that Clarissa came to this conclusion based off of what Kayla started. Kayla Araria, however you say her name. So it's amazing how we're working. So that's not a knock on Clarissa. What that is what we do as detectives every single day, which is work collaboratively. So what we just saw was collaborative work, synergy, to help solve the case. And I think it's a really good theory that these two young ladies have come up with, and I love it. Now I got one more for you. Now this one is not necessarily connected to the theory that those two other viewers were working with, and I appreciate that. I love your theories. I'm not going to agree with every theory, but if there's a theory that I agree with that I think is probative, I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to give you your flowers while I'm at it. I'm not going to pretend like I thought about it by myself and take all the credit. Yeah, I'm strategic, Mr. Big Detective Guy. Oh, I thought about that. No, I'm going to give you your credit because you deserve it, because I'm human, and my life's journey is to constantly learn, and I will learn from anybody who's willing to teach me something worthwhile. That includes you guys and your wealth of knowledge that we now have access to in this community that we're building. Now here's another one. 57 MS Deb. Very interesting what she says. Let's read it. Jen sent them out to the room. Jen sent them out of the room so she could sleep. And yet she was still awake at 11 to tell him it was time for Maddie to go to bed. Now the comments that were underneath this comment, I think they kind of bolstered it, but I was rushing, so I accidentally cropped them out. They were saying things like, if you needed to go to bed so badly, why were you still up? And if you were still up, why didn't you go and put your own baby to bed? Or why didn't you go tuck her in? Or why didn't you go tell her it's time for bed and give her a kiss on the cheek before you go back downstairs? If being downstairs is what you absolutely have to do, why are you texting him like he's a half a mile away, 10 miles away, 1,000 miles away? Like I told you guys, I have not seen any evidence, and there might be evidence out there. Maybe when they dumped Jen Soto's phone, they celebrated her phone. Maybe the telemetry and the GPS shows that she was inside that residence at this time. But once again, that's evidence they have not released yet. So at this moment, to me, and I could be wrong, to me, there's no evidence that Jen Soto was actually home that night at the times Shetsi was home. Now, do I believe that Jen Soto was at that residence at some point? Absolutely. I don't see any reason, unless she was shacking up with somebody, that she would not go home. Home is where people go eventually. Everybody goes home eventually. But my thing is, I don't believe that she went home. That, number one, she ordered that Maddie come home against Maddie's wishes and the wishes of her grandmother. Grandma wanted Maddie to spend the night. Maddie wanted to spend the night. Maddie did not want to come home. But Jen Soto said, well, I want her to come home because I miss her. But then Jen tells us, the world, when she gave her statement to the police, she tells us that she only spent 30 minutes with Maddie. That by the time she got home, Maddie was already home. Stefan was already there. She gets home. Maddie shows her all the gifts that we know Maddie did not get. She shows her the money. We know that Maddie got some money. She eats a sandwich. And then she sends Maddie to bed. All of that was done in 30 minutes. That's what Jen Soto told us. Why would you demand that your daughter come home only for you to see her for 30 minutes? And then you do something that's not necessary. It may be good parenting to get your kids to bed in a decent amount of time, but it's not necessary, especially if it's special occasions like a birthday, or like you haven't seen your child in a while because maybe they were spending a couple nights away at a different residence. She whisks Maddie away. You got to go to bed now in 30 minutes. So what was the point? Furthermore, if you knew that you needed help to get Maddie to school in the morning, why would you call Stephen Stearns to travel 3.5 hours from Northport to give you that help when grandma was already offering you that help because she wanted Maddie to spend the night and Maddie wanted to spend the night? There's no reason why Stephen Stearns should have been there. Case closed. There's no reason why Stephen Stearns should have been there. This is not the I'm a single mom and I don't have anybody watch my kids and I have to go to work. So the only person who would help me out is Stephen Stearns. And I thought he was my hero, but he ended up being the abuser of my girl. No. Jen Soto was supported by a loving support group. Jen Soto had her mom, had her dad. Her mom and her dad weren't together. So she had her mom, she had her dad. Her dad had a $100,000 RV. We saw that parked outside of the sister house. Shoot, he could have spent the night with Maddie in there. She'd have been in more luxury than most people's apartments and houses right now. Some of you guys live in trailers. You guys know the struggle. I grew up in the projects, man. I'd rather sleep in one of those $100,000 RVs than the place that I came from. The sister had her own place too. She had multiple people who always helped her with Maddie, not begrudgingly sometimes helped her, always helped her with Maddie. Why, instead of allowing your daughter to just spend the night at grandma's house like grandma wanted, like your daughter wanted, did you instead call a guy who you're on and off again with, who you're not sure you are even actually attracted to, who you just wanted to get back with him so you guys could be like sister wives and be in a platonic relationship and raise Maddie together like sister wives? That's what she said. That's literally what she said, guys. Go check it out for yourself. Because he's good with her. That's what she said. Why would you call that guy from Northport to come all the way up to watch your daughter when your mother would have done it? And why would you only spend 30 minutes with that kid? And after 30 minutes, you send them upstairs. You think Maddie's still up. You want to make sure that she's in bed. Instead of you just walking up one flight of stairs. This is a small townhouse. My first house was a townhouse. They have floors and basements sometimes. I had a basement, but they're not big. They're not big. They're little squares, but they're built vertically. So you think you got space, but you don't got that much space. No disrespect to anybody with a townhouse. I'm just giving you a visual representation of the layout of a townhouse. All she had to do was walk up one flight of stairs. Her daughter would have been right there. But she's sending text messages. Is she in bed yet? Yes, she's building her nest, is what Stephen Stearns said. Okay. Does that sound like the conversation you would have if your daughter is only literally 20 feet away? Literally, no more than 20 feet away. All right, let's be generous. 30 feet away, max. Max 30 feet away. Wouldn't you just go upstairs? Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that she only spent 30 minutes with Maddie. What makes sense is, I'm going to get out of here after this because I got to go to bed. What makes sense, ladies and gentlemen, is Jen never got home in time to see Maddie awake. That's why Jen told us the fake story about seeing all of Maddie's different gifts. Remember, Maddie didn't get a lot of gifts. Maddie was upset that she didn't get gifts. Jen Soto probably got home after Maddie was already in bed. That means 11:30 and on. That's why she texted Stefan the way all of us, not just Jen, all of us, me, you guys, all the parents in the rooms, all the aunties and the uncles who watch their nieces and nephews in the room, she texts Stefan using the same words the rest of us would use if we weren't home and we wanted to make sure that our kid was sleeping. She in bed yet? Make sure she gets to bed now. It's time to go to bed. That's not what you say when you're 30 feet away. It's not what parents do. That's what you say when you're 10 miles away, when you're 1 mile away, when you're not in the same space of your child and your child is with a quote unquote caregiver. The conversation she had in that text, until they prove it to me, Strategic Eyes proves that that woman was not in that house. And if she wasn't in that house, then what are you hiding from us? What are you hiding from us? That's the question that we need to explore. What are you hiding, Jen Soto? Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys immensely. Thank you so much for joining me at such short notice. I am tired, so it's time for me to go to bed, and I appreciate you guys. We will be covering the hearing tomorrow when they come in, so look out for that show. I'm going to try and give it to you tomorrow night, like I gave it to you this night. If not, then, we'll cover it when we cover it, man. So it is what it is. So, guys, make sure you hit that like button on your way out the door. Big shout out with appreciation to all my members who are in the chat, to all my Patreon subscribers who are in the chat and showing that love. Appreciate you. For everybody else, please consider becoming a member of our Patreon and our membership so you can get exclusive content. We have the most affordable membership on YouTube. The lowest tier is 99 cents. And for the Patreon, it's $5. Just $5 to get all the exclusive content that we decide to post on these platforms. Now, before I go, I was about to leave. I just want to give a big shout out to anybody who supported the show, and then we'll get out of here. So big shout out to Diana Muniz, who's now a recruit member. Rosie Rose 80 donated $4.99 with a super sticker. Leslie gave a one gift membership to one lucky person. And then she came back again and gave another gift membership to another lucky person. So please do, if you have received that gift membership from Leslie, get in that chat and thank her, because that's very generous of her, because YouTube does not allow you to gift membership the 99 cents tier. If they would, I would just get $50 and just gift membership 50 people, a membership. Google actually makes you pay for the patrol level. So whenever somebody gives you a gift membership, you are coming into the show at a higher level than most people who are actually members of the show. Well, not most, because not all of our members are on the 99 cents tier, but quite a few people are. You actually get gifted a membership higher than most of those people. So be grateful and be kind and always make sure you thank a person who gives a gift membership. It's the right thing to do because they're very generous. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'm off to get the suit off because it's been on me for like the last, 19 hours? A little less than that, right? Hop in the shower and get to bed. So I see you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Let me cue up that outro. Peace.